Grade Saliente, fourth-year students at Southwestern University. Sir, can you tell me something about yourself, sir?
Okay. Something about myself. First, my name is Noel Andrew Batumalaki. I took Bachelor of Science in Nursing in Cebu Normal University. After that, I actually worked in a review center. Then I decided to take up diploma in professional education. That's for licensure examination for teachers, essentially for education. And then I took the board examination as well in education. So I'm both a licensed nurse and a licensed teacher. And right now I'm pursuing a master's degree in environmental biology and CNA as well.
Sir, why did you choose that specialty of area of nursing, sir?
No, actually, that's not a specialty area of nursing when you talk about my master's.
Yes, sir.
Um, Actually, dude, I have to tell you that when I started my nursing education, I really did not imagine that I would become a nurse. What I really wanted to become was to become a teacher. But it was like my mother who pushed me to become a nurse. And then when I was interviewed, I remember that time when I was interviewed, they were asking me if like, is nursing your first choice? And I said, no, actually that was my mother's choice. But then I realized that's why I went to nursing and did not oppose my mother because I realized that if you are a nurse, then you can become a nurse educator as well. So I fulfilled both my dream to become an educator and as well as my mother's dream. So you talk about specialization, I am not pursuing any master's degree related to nursing, but I am specializing on education because that is what I'm practicing right now. Teaching future nurses for preparation for for their upcoming board examination.
Sir, what do you think are the most challenging aspects you encounter about your work, or describe how you handle it, sir?
Okay, so as a nurse educator, because I would really like to consider myself as a nurse educator, I think the most challenging part is how you are able to transfer the knowledge that you have to the students. How you teach them for the board examination because for the review, it's not like teaching in a classroom wherein you have a lot of time that would be allotted for them to learn. In the review, usually for one particular subject, let's say you only have 16 hours, two books, two volume books, one volume is equivalent to like 1,000 pages. You are going to cram that in 16 hours. That is very difficult. Plus, of course, considering some of the ability of the students to learn. So, as time passes by, I have learned a lot of techniques in how to deliver the instruction so that it is easier for them to understand at the same time would make it easier for them to recall as well.
Sir, how do you set priorities in your work, sir?
Setting priorities in work. Actually, when you set priorities, I think that the most important thing when you set priorities is that you have to think of what is the most essential. So if you think that that aspect is very important, then you give more time for that, and then you put other things later on. Example, in my work, perhaps I have to juggle a lot of responsibilities in my work because I'm not only working as a lecturer, but I am also a staff. I'm the operations manager of Powerhouse, and at the same time, I'm the quality improvement staff. And then I also do ACAD work. So what I do every morning is that I try to jot down all the things that I need to accomplish on this day. And then after jotting them down, I prioritize them according to what is the most important and what will happen first. So by doing that, by jotting down all the things that I need to do, then I will be guided on what is the first thing that I would do.
Last question, sir. What are the most important lessons you've learned in your careers?
I think for me, the most important lesson that I have learned in my career is that you can learn to love things. You can learn to be passionate with things. Like, again, as I mentioned, I never expected to become a nurse. I only expected myself to become as a teacher. But after taking up nursing, but during the time, I learned that, some things, you can really be passionate with the things that you never even expected before. Like, you develop certain inclination, and sometimes what you plan, and sometimes that your plans may not actually come into a realization, but there are greater things that is waiting for you. So I think that is the most important thing that I have realized in my career right now, as of the moment. That you can learn to love, that you have passion, and everything that happens really is for a reason.
Thank you, guys. Thank you,
Okay.
Mark. Thank you
Okay,
so
you're
much.
welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you.